Sometimes, even an ordinary house can be full of amazing mysteries. Alice and Alex found a treasure map in an old chest. The treasure was Atlantis. For many years, travelers and great scientists have been trying to find Atlantis. Our characters decided to join their search. All of a sudden, and very much to the point, they found a scuba set. Who's going to set off for a journey, Alex or Alice? Alex. We're setting off to the unfathomed depths of the underwater world for new discoveries. Off to new adventures. Icebergs are huge blocks of ice looking like ice rocks. Only a small part of an iceberg is visible above water. The swordfish is one of the fastest fishes in the world. It can speed up to 62 miles an hour, 100 kilometers per hour. Seaweed is an underwater plant with no blossom, roots, or leaves. To avoid being eaten for lunch, a porcupine fish swallows water as fast as possible to inflate its body like a balloon. No marine predator can swallow a spiny ball. Great! A snail has an enormous number of teeth. They're not arranged in rows, but rather resemble a grater for food. The whale shark is the biggest fish. However, it feeds only on small crustaceans, fish, and squids. Match pairs of cards. Great! Put the pieces together to discover Atlantis. A male seahorse is a caring father. He carries the eggs deposited by a female seahorse in a pouch on his belly. A jellyfish looks like an umbrella with trailing tentacles. Jellyfish have neither bones nor shells, while their bodies resemble a plastic bag of water. Although corals look like plants, they're actually a collection of millions of tiny animals. Starfish move using lots of tiny feet on the underside of their arms. The arrow will show you the way. A pearl is produced when a grain of sand gets trapped in the shell of a mollusk. Pearls are gemstones used in jewelry. Some kinds of animals are luminous. The smallest of them, called plankton, make the sea shine when drawn together in large amounts. It's a breathtaking view. As a result of living in the waters of dark caves for a long time, certain fish have lost their vision, but gained in other senses like hearing and olfaction. The seas are inhabited by exotic animals lacking heads and mouths. They are variegated sea sponges. Well done. Help the jellyfish pass the obstacles. Put the pieces together to discover Atlantis. A mandarin fish is the most brightly colored fish in the world. Blue whales are the biggest. There are blue whales that are longer than 3 buses in a row and weighing as much as 25 elephants. A clownfish is the bravest of all fishes. It finds shelter among the dangerous tentacles of a sea anemone and is not afraid of their poison. Moray eels are a fish without fins and scale. They can be of any color and size. Sea turtles spend most of their life in the sea. Only once a year, a female turtle comes ashore to lay its eggs. A hermit crab hides its soft, unprotected abdomen in a shell. When the crab outgrows the shell, it starts searching for a new home. Deep in the ocean, the water does not stand still, but continuously flows in oceanic currents. A leafy sea dragon looks like a fish with leaves. Sure enough, the leaves are fake. They're just protrusions all over the body to help the sea dragon hide among the seaweed. Put the pieces together into an image. Put the pieces together to discover Atlantis. Well done. A place has both eyes on the same side of the head. The flat place camouflages itself on the sandy bottom to become invisible for predators. A scuba set is a special apparatus with pressured air which allows divers to breathe underwater. The nautilus is the oldest animal on Earth. It likes to sway in the waves or can dive to the very bottom. An octopus is a relative of snails and slugs. When an octopus is angry or scared, it turns bright red and ejects a cloud of ink. There are an innumerable number of ships on the ocean floor, both found and buried under the sand and silt. Many of them are still loaded with countless treasures. Great! Sea urchins look somewhat like cactuses, but they're actually animals. Their bright color warns about the poisonous spines. Find the hiding stars. Put the pieces together to discover Atlantis. In the course of life, a lobster changes its shell several times. During these periods, lobsters should beware of sharks. What a find! An argonaut is the only octopus with a shell. Its fragile shell is a boat that keeps the octopus on the water surface. Some species of skates can generate electricity, which they use to protect themselves from threats. Strong sea quakes may cause tsunamis, huge waves destroying everything in their way. The oarfish is the longest. It has a snake-like body with a magnificent red fin running its entire length, a horse-like head, and blue gills. Help the jelly jellyfish pass the obstacles. Great! Put the pieces together to discover Atlantis. An earthquake under the ocean floor is called a seaquake. Some species of eels disguise themselves as plants. They stand anchored with their tails, looking like a garden of swaying stems. Small black swallowers can swallow fish twice their size. At a depth of 1,000 meters, the pressure is so high that it can make a piece of wood shrink to half its original size. A bathyscaphe is a self-propelled submersible of a special design. People in a bathyscaphe can dive to great depths. We'll need a bathyscaphe in the deep water. Burst all the bubbles. An anglerfish has a shining outgrowth on its head, looking like a fishing rod with a bait to lure prey. Deep ocean water is much colder and darker, as the sunlight can hardly reach it. A pelican eel consists of a huge mouth and a tail. It always swims with its mouth open. Great! Deep in the ocean, There are huge 17-meter-long squids. They can drown even a sperm whale just by hanging on it. Comb jellies are invertebrates with a transparent body and 8 flashing rows, which makes them look a bit like electric bulbs. Seamounts are extinct volcanoes that do not reach the water's surface. Deep in the ocean, there are huge 17-meter-long squids. They can drown even a sperm whale just by hanging on it. Did you know that the ocean floor is very varied? There are deep trenches, high mountains, plains, and real volcanoes there. The ocean floor consists mainly of dead seaweed and the remnants of sea animals accumulated for many years. Put the pieces together to discover Atlantis. Great! There is life at every ocean layer. Even in the Mariana Trench, the deepest place on Earth, haired snails and ghost crabs were found. Viperfish has flashing spots on its head and body, which it can turn on or turn off when necessary. Seamounts are extinct volcanoes that do not reach the water's surface. The shell of a deep-sea snail is partially made of iron. It's a snail with an iron shell. Collect these keys to proceed. Burst all the bubbles. Burst all the bubbles. Well done. Burst all the bubbles. Burst all the bubbles. Burst all the bubbles. After a breathtaking journey, we have achieved our goal. Here it is, Atlantis. You are a true explorer.